Hi, you're listening to If You Give It Out a Podcast.
Hello, all my beautiful people. It is time once again for another amazing episode of If You Give a Dad a Podcast. So this week I have with me Benny Qualmann. He is the lead singer of the band With Some Friends. It's a metalcore band out of Florida. And I got to have a nice long conversation with him this week. And I hope that you guys enjoy it. You will hear a few breaks in there, and it's because we had some technical difficulties this week whenever we were recording. So you'll hear there's a change towards the end, or towards the middle, I guess it would be, where it sounds like he's going from studio to on the phone. Zoom was having a hard time with us on Tuesday, so we did have to change over to a phone conversation from Zoom. So you will hear that slight difference. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on it. Great conversation, had a lot of fun talking to him, learned some pretty cool facts about him, so yeah, it's a great episode. So, if you guys are as excited as I am, then let's get this show on the road.
If You Give a Dad a Podcast. Hey, Dad.
Get back in your car! Go! Get out of here! You can't be here!
I wasn't about to call you dad, so.
Seriously?
Just for the, the work rate, brother.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she said he looked like an old piece of leather.
Wow.
Supernatural, which is by far one of my favorite shows, and I will be talking a lot about Supernatural. I will be quoting Supernatural.
Bro.
I just remember because they also, everybody, whenever they came to the ring, goes, ooh, 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 ooh. What? Okay, before I get started, have you ever had an idea for a design that you wanted to put on a shirt, hat, tumbler, or even a puzzle? Well, over at R&L Designs, they can make those ideas come true. For the month of August, all ready to ship or local pickup t-shirts and can glasses with bamboo lids are $10 each plus shipping. You can find them on Facebook and Instagram, as well as Etsy for digital designs. I'll have a link to all of their pages in my show notes. Go check them out for all of your custom needs today. Alright everybody, so today I have with me the lead singer of With Some Friends. This is a metalcore band that I recently discovered through Twitter, and then I've started listening to their music on Spotify, and they've got some really cool songs out there. Today I have with me, like I said, is the lead singer of that band, and that is Benny Qualmann. Man, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. Nice to meet you. That was an interesting pronunciation on my last name. How'd you say it? You said, what'd you say?
Qualmann?
Qualmann? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Goes, the correct pronunciation is Qualmann, but I hear so many different, I just hear so many different ways people say it, and then every way is really interesting to me.
I
So I thought that was kind of funny.
So it's Qualmann.
Yeah, I hear Quail. Yeah, it's Qualmann, Benny
Okay.
Qualmann. Yeah, I heard Quailman, Quuman. I don't know, just all these weird things, man. I don't know. I don't have a lot on the top of my head, but just I've heard a lot of different ways throughout my life. So
it's cool. I kind of grew up with that way myself, so I totally understand the people mispronouncing your last name thing.
yeah. And little fun fact about me, I'm also a triplet. So I have a brother and sister the same age as me, and they say that it's rare that they'll ever encounter somebody that says the last name right too. Either that, or they leave or they only put one N instead of two. One of those. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
you probably want to talk about other things other than our names, so
oh, hey,
we can change the topic.
The reason why I have the name that I have is I can talk about whatever I want. It's kind of just a shoot podcast. I have all kinds of people on here, and we just talk about whatever we want to.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, man. I've been checking out your stuff. You seem really interesting. You seem to do a lot in the world of pro wrestling, which I find very fascinating.
I do. I'm a big fan of pro wrestling, and I recently have made some friends in the local wrestling scene around here. So But so I've recently gotten involved in that, and I love it. I mean, it's definitely kept me busy with different um, people to have on the show, and I love being able to
Yeah.
have musical guests on here as well. I want to kind of mix it up and everything. So,
Yeah.
with saying that, the reason why we have you on here today is because of your band that you have, and that's With Some Friends. And I have to say, I absolutely love this band. It is awesome
Thank you.
music. I listen to it quite often. I say this all the time, but yes, me and my son jam out to your music all the time. So,
Dude, hell yeah, that's sick, man.
so
That's cool. How old's your son?
my son is 10, so he is my little metalhead. He jams out with me in the
10?
car whenever we go to the school.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. What's
Yeah.
your guys' what's your favorite songs, or what's your go-to songs of ours?
Um, so I'm gonna have to hold on just a second. I'm gonna have to pull it up because I have them in my
You're good,
on
you're good.
repeat. So let me pull up my on repeat list.
Yeah, because
So,
Prayer is the one that kind of took off a little bit,
uh-huh.
mainly because Nick Nocturnal discovered that one. But
Oh, oh, really?
I find it so interesting because every time I ask, like nobody has. Yeah, he discovered us. He put us on his Twitch stream, and then he playlisted us.
Okay.
I literally I on no effort on my end. I actually discovered him because I heard that he put us on his Twitch stream. So I don't
Oh,
know how he
really?
got a hold of us. Yeah. I that's how I found out who Nick Nocturnal was. I didn't know who that was, but I went over to a friend's house, and my friend was like, "Yo, man, so I was watching Nick Nocturnal, and I was gonna request you guys, but you guys were already on the list." And I was like,
Oh, wow.
"Who the fuck is that? I don't know who that is." But I checked him out, and he fucking loved us. So I'm like, "All right, I love you." And I'm really glad I discovered him actually, because he's a pretty interesting guy. He's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
But anyways, he discovered Prayer. He playlisted that, so that's why Prayer's got like a good amount of streams. But something I find interesting about us is nobody has the same answer when I ask them what's their favorite With Some Friends song. It's always a different answer. So I
So,
think that's really cool. But what's your favorite?
so it's actually made its way to number one on my on repeat list on Spotify.
Oh shit!
And it's Regression.
Wait, it's Regression?
Yes.
Oh my god, that dude. Okay, I hear that, man. Man, that's so funny. I just when I was putting it together the album, that was really the song that I
Yeah.
thought was gonna be on the back burner.
Uh-huh.
But so many people have really gravitated towards that. Like Ivan, my new guitarist,
Uh-huh.
he like came into the band and was like, "Yo, I love this fucking song, man," and that song's really been pushing. And I really didn't like it that much at first, but because everybody else likes it so much, it's really grown on me.
Right.
So that's awesome that it hit number one on repeat.
So I actually have three of your songs on my on repeat list, and it is so it's Regression, Catharsis, and
Nice.
June.
June.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
So those are the
That's
three
sick.
that have made it to my on repeat. So I have to ask this.
That's cool, man.
I haven't had a metal singer on my podcast yet, so this is new. You were the first one. Congratulations.
Hell yeah, I'm honored, dude.
How long did it take you to perfect your metal scream?
Well, I would say that my screams are far from perfect, and I
They
feel like I'm
sound
still
great to
perfecting
me.
them every day.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, dude. I mean, I really appreciate that because I listened back to the album, and I think I could have maybe done a few takes here or there a little better. So I really appreciate that. But I mean, I've been in bands forever. I
Uh-huh.
didn't start. I'm 25,
Okay.
and the first band that I ever sang in, I was 17.
Oh wow.
Like before, I was a drummer in a million bands that never fucking went anywhere. And then it wasn't until I started singing in bands that those like the bands I sang in were the bands that actually started getting momentum. For I don't know if it's because I was good or if it's because I was more motivated, but
Uh-huh.
it was working more when I was fronting my band. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna stick with this. But the way I really learned is I just found found the sounds that I wanted to. I just found the sound like them. Like I literally mimicked Danny Worsnop's vocals off Stand Up and Scream for my first EP back when I was 17. Like,
Okay.
my biggest critique was that I was a Danny Worsnop knockoff, which I was, but learning that and getting that technique down, building that muscle memory.
Uh-huh.
I think it's a good idea. I don't know, maybe it's not, but for me, it's a good idea. Like I think it's a good idea just to literally find somebody you like, copy that technique. And then once you've built that muscle memory, then, add your little spice to it. But if you're just learning, just do what I did. Like, I just listened to Stand Up and Scream every day of my life and just, like, tried to mimic that. And that's just exactly how I learned.
That's awesome. Yeah, for me, it's so I'm still trying to perfect mine. I suck at it, and I try it in my car all the time. And my son half the time's like, "Just stop, Dad. Come on." But
That's funny.
I actually try to pattern mine after I Prevail.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I
Prevail's
really
cool.
I really like I Prevail, and their singers in that band are just amazing. So I've got a few other songs that I've practiced with, like Bow Down is probably one of the ones that I try and practice with the
By
most.
Born of Osiris.
No, that's
Or is that a I Prevail song?
that's I Prevail as well.
Okay, I don't know like any I Prevail like at all. I'm really like I've just never really been too big on them.
Yeah.
I just felt like after the whole wave of metal, like the wave of like what the real scene was in like 2013, from like 2008 to 2013.
Yeah.
Where, there was that real shit, of Mice and Men, Ask Alexandria, Devil Wears Prada. Well,
Yeah.
at least when those bands were at their prime, Bring Me the Horizon.
Mhm.
That came through and made its impact. And I felt like as it was washing out, I feel like the labels were like, all right, we need to there's a market for this, so we need to keep it going. And then I think you started seeing bands like I Prevail, which I feel like was a label's idea of like what metalcore is. They're like, all right, this is what we think metalcore is, so here's this.
Yeah.
And like they're cool, like they're dope, but that was just never a band I really dove too much into.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, the thing is with me a lot of times is I love all of those bands, but I'm all the time trying to find new ones that I like as well, and so therefore I go through.
That could be my problem.
I go through
like,
these little.
I'm stuck in. Yeah.
And I go through these little things where like I'll listen to this band for a while, so I'll do I Prevail. Well, last week I went back through and alls I listened to was Metallica, and I was listening to Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets album just over and over again, both of those.
Nice.
So it changes for me every once in a while, and but that's the most recent one I would say for me is the I Prevail, trying to emulate their vocals on there, like you said.
Cool. It's like when they first came out, I wasn't really big on them, but I actually hear from a lot of friends that they're good now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I might go back and see if I would change a heart on them. And like I'm
Right
just saying whatever. I know I'm being recorded. I really don't give a fuck. I don't know. I feel like in this day everybody's like just too afraid to say shit.
Yeah.
And I feel like and I don't know, I'm just here to just say how I feel,
Right.
And like sometimes it gets me in trouble, but like if I like you, I like you. If I love you, I love you, Like
Yeah. No, I get it. I
Just
totally
how I've
understand that. I'm kind of that way when it comes to certain genres of music. In fact, I had a friend, and him and his wife and I all had an argument at their house. One of the first times that my wife actually went to their house, and it was over Bring Me the Horizon. And it was when they started changing, because there was an obvious change in their music, and I was a huge fan of their first couple of albums, but then as they progressed I was like, I'm not so sure I like this anymore, and she actually had a problem with me not liking the newer stuff. So
honestly, I think I might have a problem with that too. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so I mean, but metal is something that I love, and it's my escape. So whenever I heard that, or whenever I was able to get you to come on here and everything, I was very excited.
No, yeah, I'm glad you had me, man.
So what were some of your influences growing up when it came to your music?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty all over the place, but if we're talking like the scene specifically, like I said, I was really big on the Stand Up and Scream album, Reckless and Relentless by Ask Alexandria, is arguably better too. So those first two albums just really mean a lot. Also, Bring Me the Horizon was big on me.
Mhm.
Like getting into the scene when I was younger, like when I was first getting into metalcore, I was really big on, Devil Wears Prada, A Day to Remember, and Bring Me the Horizon, Ask Alexandria, all those bands I just said.
Yeah.
Nowadays, the kind of sound that I'm really gearing towards, like I'm really in love with just gent and like technical metalcore. Like the first two Northlane albums, the first two Volumes albums, Periphery, like those are just like Reflections. Like those are bands like I really fucking strive to be like.
Yeah. I apologize. I don't know if you can hear this in the background, but my neighbor decided that he needed to mow his yard, and I'm recording in my garage, so you can probably hear so loud.
Vaguely, but it's not bugging me.
Okay. Well, for anybody who's listening to this in the future, that is what's happening. My neighbor loves to mow at night, and so for some reason he always picks right when I'm doing my podcast to start doing his mowing. So I do apologize.
Man, I can't even really pick it up, dude. So, yeah, those were my influences in terms of the scene. But I also like range in like a lot of different other types of music. Like the first concert I ever went to in my whole life in 2008, I was 10 years old. It was Kanye West and Rihanna at the Ford Amphitheater in Tampa. I draw a lot of like Kanye West was like really like the first artist that like got me like into music. Like around fifth grade. Like it was him and Maroon 5. Actually, I'm not even lying. I went to high school, and then I got into like middle school. I got really into Nirvana, who's my favorite band of all time.
Okay.
Blink 182. I'm a Blink kid for life. Fucking Green Day. Avenged Sevenfold, like all that. I was just really with all that once I got to high school. But I draw a lot of influences from a lot of different places.
Hey there, friends. Interested in another podcast to listen to between episodes? Well, you're in luck. Come check out Bloody Babbles podcast. We are a gaggle of babblers who talk of true crime and other gory wonderment. New episodes are released every Tuesday, and you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and everywhere podcasts are streamed. Happy babbling, my friends.
We got some good wrestling in the Oklahoma area.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oklahoma, Jim Ross.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we've got not just Oklahoma. We've got good wrestling from Oklahoma, Kansas, Arkansas, and Missouri, that whole area. We've got, a slew of different companies for wrestling that I've actually been able to come in contact with.
Oh, wow.
For the show. So it's been really cool, and I'm all the time meeting new people for it. So
you guys have any big names come through the indie circuit over there?
We actually just did. We had Wrestling for a Cause had one of their shows that just happened. It was the Extrava Slamza. It was last weekend, and Cowboy James Storm was there.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and
oh yeah, I think I saw that on your Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah, and EC3 was there also, and he brought some of the guys from Control Your Narrative.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
I remember James Storm back in the day, dude. He was a big in TNA.
Oh yeah, with Beer Money.
Yeah, dude, that shit was sick, dude.
I love Beer Money.
Oh yeah, dude. So I grew up in Orlando, and they would film TNA in Orlando, and I grew up with a dad who was an entertainment lawyer. And my dad was a kick-ass, he's a kick-ass Jewish lawyer, man. Like he really did his job well. But the thing about my dad is, he's a kid at heart, and what he would do, which I admire him for, is he would reach out to celebrities or just people that he was interested in or he liked and offer them help. My dad has a big, deep love for professional wrestling, which is something he passed on to me. Mm-hmm. And my dad represented a lot of these guys in TNA, right? So growing up, I'm like 8, 9 years old. My dad would just take me to these TNA tapings at Universal, but wouldn't just take me. I'm backstage,
that's so cool.
I'm like hanging with the boys, and it was cool, man. Like there'd be times where there'd be some wrestler, and my dad would bring me over and introduce me, mm-hmm. and then we'd walk away, and then my dad would just whisper to me. He'd be like, "Yeah, I just got that guy off a DUI," some shit like that.
Wow, that's insane.
I know, man. It was insane. Yeah, so I really like grew up in that. I really grew up in the world of professional wrestling thanks to my dad. Like I personally met and shook hands with, I mean, I was quite young, but still,
Right.
met AJ Styles, Mick Foley, like basically all the dudes in TNA.
Yeah.
So, I really grew up around the ring.
That's really cool. So you were probably right around that time. It was probably what was that? Probably 2008, 2009, somewhere around there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's
But
some of the best time.
Oh my god, dude! Like people forget how awesome TNA was, dude.
Yeah.
And I also really liked the way they were using Christian, because Christian never became that big star in WWE, but he was captivating on TNA.
The thing is with Christian, that dude can cut a promo. If you give him a mic, that dude can talk. And the thing is they never let him do that in WWE, really. They didn't like him enough to let him cut a promo like he did in TNA.
Saying it's like guys like that, you wonder if there's any animosity, but the fact that Edge had this big, one of the greatest solo careers of all time.
Yeah.
And, Christian was just kind of left on the back burner, and you can kind of say the same thing about Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy and Eddie Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero.
Right.
And a lot of guys get left on the back burner, in that business, and it's scary,
Yeah. Do you have any more music that's going to be coming out here soon?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's all we're really doing right now is just writing. We're trying to get this new stuff out because, I think that last album was dope, but it was made with a different lineup, and honestly, be a lot better. So we're really just working hard to get this new stuff out, and we also have a really big show coming together that I can't say anything about yet, but we have something in the works that I think is going to raise some eyebrows pretty soon. So,
well, I can't wait to see you announce that. Then, do you have a time frame of when you will be able to announce?
I really don't know anything yet. Everything's just coming together, but it's everything will come together in due time. That's all I'll say.
Okay, right on. Well, okay, so there was one thing that I was going to say, but then it cut out earlier. You sent me a picture the other day of you with somebody, one of the ECW originals.
Yep.
That was really cool. Now, you said that you work with you said it was CCW, and I'm guessing that's a local promotion there in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this something that you do often, or?
It's not something I do often. It really was kind of a one-time thing, but it might not be now.
Okay.
So my dad works for this law firm up here in Gainesville, and they were sponsoring this, and CCW is this independent company that comes through Florida, and they were doing a show, and my dad's law firm was just sponsoring it, and they sent my dad to do this kind of stuff because, like I told you, my dad's big pro wrestling mark. So am I. He told me he was doing it. I'm like, yo, I'm coming with. So for the show, they actually, my dad was actually the ring announcer, and I wasn't really expecting to do anything. But you know how it is with these indie shows, and even with all these indie bands, just so off the cuff.
Right.
And earlier in the day, we meet with the head of CCW and his associate Bill Alfonso. And we were just talking and blah blah. I'm just hitting it off, just let him know how much of a fan I am. And then later in the day, so I established rapport with them. And then we get to the venue later, and they just didn't have anybody to ring the bell. so they were just like, "Hey, do you want to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I just sat next to the commentary table, sat next to Bill Alfonso, and was the fucking bell guy for the night. So
that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. And then there was also one part of the show where we actually went in the ring. We just played a big show at the social. We just played the emo night, and there was one part where they let me in the ring, and I just advertised the show to everybody, and actually had some people come out from that. So that was really cool. And also that was the first time I ever really stepped foot in a wrestling ring. As often as I have been around the ring, I never actually, it really hit me. When I got into the ring, I was like, I've actually never been in a ring before.
Yeah.
And it felt good. And I'm not gonna lie, Jared. You might see me in there again pretty soon.
Oh, cool. That would be really cool. Now, what does CCW stand for?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not too familiar with that company.
Okay.
I just know that they came through and I met everybody
Okay.
and they were all super nice.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think like Coastal Championship Wrestling. I actually think I got that right.
Okay.
But yeah, but everybody, like, honestly, it was this indie show in Ocala. There's like 150 people there. And dude, I'm telling you, man, like this card start to finish was so good, and I'm not even just telling you that. Like I was more entertained with this indie card than I have been with Monday Night Raw for the past 5 years. I'm not even lying to you.
I can believe it. That's happened to me every time I've went to a local show here. We actually have a CCW here as well, and it's Crown Championship Wrestling.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you said CCW, I was like, I wonder what that stands for. But
maybe they're the same thing. I don't know.
Yeah, this one I think just runs in local around Arkansas and stuff. I think they do some in like Springfield, Missouri, and all that as well. But it's like you said, these shows, even the ones I've went to, they're better than what you're seeing on TV. Now, with the changes that are happening on TV right now, with Triple H taking over and things like that, I hope to see a change, and I hope to see a better product, and we already are starting to see a better product, I think.
I missed the show last night. Did anything happen worth anything that anybody should know about, or was it just whatever?
Well, Dexter Lumis kind of showed up in the crowd, and that was kind of cool.
Okay. But like nothing. It was nothing big, but you can just tell that there's like a slight shift in energy.
Oh yes, most definitely. I mean, they had the match between Ciampa and Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship and everything, and it was a good match, and I was surprised that they went the way they did with it, but they've kind of just got to ease it back in because Triple H is a big Ciampa guy, but they can't just throw him in the deep end all of a sudden, because then that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
You can definitely see little things that are happening that it's going to lead to something big, and it's exciting to see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see definitely where it goes now that it's in Triple H's hands. I've always had these little gripes about Triple H my entire life. Like I've always heard that he can be two-faced. He really kissed ass to the top.
Yeah.
And I really have a grudge. I will always have a grudge against him for the way he treated CM Punk. Like it kills me in my core that CM Punk never headlined WrestleMania, but Roman Reigns headlines and beats everybody's favorite wrestlers every fucking year.
Yeah.
That's just like some WWE shit that really pisses me off.
That's Vince
but at the end
too.
Of the day, by the end of the day, you watch Triple H's tape and like he's just as good of a worker as anybody else.
Right.
Like psychologically, like his storyline just always makes sense. And and like what he's done with NXT was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So like based on like what he's done with NXT and how he's been the past 2 years, it should definitely be a much better product moving forward.
Well, I know that I've started seeing people call this the black and gold Raw now, since he's in charge. Because NXT, when it was the black and gold, is when Triple H was in charge of NXT. So now they're referring to Raw as the black and gold version now because he's in charge. So
yeah, do you think AEW will ever be like a true head-to-head competitor like WCW was to WWF?
I do. I do foresee that. Yeah, I do. They have the talent.
I think if Punk can get healthy and then maybe catch fire, I don't know. Also, the MJF is really fucking dope.
Oh, I love the MJF stuff. And the thing is we don't know how real it is either. And that is a throwback to WCW days too.
Yeah. It's like I haven't seen like a shoot work like this. It's definitely a work, I feel like. But we haven't seen like a shoot work like this happen in a very long time that was this believable.
Right.
So it's definitely interesting.
Okay. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there.
Like CM Punk's pipe bomb, like that was a work,
Oh
but
yeah.
It's very convincing though.
Yeah.
You're you'll watch it now and be like, yo, but like, you gotta remember, like, that was on WWE television at the end of the day, and they knew what they were doing.
He said real stuff, though, man, in that.
He said real stuff. Yeah, but then again, honestly, it's like you never really know. Like like these guys are just independent contractors out there, so they're not really tied to WWE. So.
Well, there is one man who is.
Honestly.
There is one man that is, and I just found this out. I did not know this. So, John Cena uses his real name, but did you know they own the rights to his real name?
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And so everything he's doing, even if it's not WWE related, they get a kickback of that because they own his name.
Jeez.
So
that's just smart business, if you ask me, man.
It is smart business, you know. It just, at the same time, it's kind of crazy, you know, because he's always going to be tied to them. But they're the ones who gave him his start, so I understand him being okay with it being reciprocated, you know. So I totally get it.
Yeah. I think I actually saw that video of John Cena talking about that, and he seems very content because he knows what that company did for him, you know, because we all love him now, but we booed him just like we're booing Roman Reigns now when they were pushing him to the moon, because they were doing that shit that they're doing Roman now. That was him. Like in 2006 when Edge cashed in Money in the Bank and got the title, what they do 3 weeks later? Made him job and lose at Royal Rumble to John Cena, right when the dope shit would be happening, and they John Cena it, and now it's Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So, he knows what they did for him.
Yeah.
And I probably would be the same way. If somebody did that for me, I'd be like, you can have my name. I'm eating good, house clean, like, you know.
Oh yeah, he's definitely not hurting for money.
Yeah, for real. Obviously, that goes without saying.
Oh yeah. Well, and
sure. John Cena's fine. He follows me on Twitter, by the way.
Oh, does he?
He follows a lot of people. Yeah, he follows a lot of people. He follows like 500,000 people. But, hey, I slipped in there. He doesn't follow all my friends, so.
Well, I used to have a Twitter account, and I deleted it a long time ago before I even started this podcast. And he followed that account, but he hasn't started following my podcast account yet. So we'll see. We'll get there.
Email.
Yeah.
We got to get him on the pod.
There we go. Maybe you can set that up since, you know, you got that close tie with him now and everything.
Yeah. So I can direct message him because he follows me.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You know, just kind of, you know, help me out here, bud.
I got you, man. I got you.
So do you have any shows that are coming up with you in the band?
Just like I said, the main focus is just really on writing right now.
Okay.
So we're really just looking to get this new stuff out there. Okay. And then really go and like I said, we have this other show coming up, and it'll be really cool. We really just hit a little bit of a wall in writing because I went through a whole lineup change. Like I literally kicked out my entire band and replaced them.
Oh wow! Okay.
So I had to go through this whole thing.
Did you do like tryouts and stuff?
You know, I mean, I really was just reaching out to close friends who I knew were talented. That I knew would be there for me. You know, I've been around the scene. I have a lot of friends out here, and honestly, like it was a really tough thing I had to go through. But honestly, it's like, you know, it's like I tell all my friends who are going through. It's like, bro, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah. Like, just keep pushing through the mud. You know, like Shawshank Redemption. Like they had to climb through like 2 miles of shit going through that sewer. But like, there's freedom and light at the end of the tunnel. Like you have to go through it. You know.
Right.
And it was a really hard thing to go through. You know, I'm going through all this shit, but I feel like now the band is truly in a better position than it's ever been. I feel really good about this lineup. The talent that I am surrounded by now just really pushes me. Like I'm at practice with these guys. You know, I got my boy Pedro, who's a fucking stud behind the kit. Ivan, my boy Ivan, who's my new guitarist. He's incredible. His guitar teacher is actually the lead guitarist of Ice Nine Kills, and so they work directly together. Yeah, I know. So fun fact about that for all the listeners out there.
That's really cool. I love Ice Nine Kills.
Yeah. I've my old band. I've opened for them a couple of times. I've met all of them. They're really cool.
Oh wow.
But you know, Ivan's a fucking stud, and then David is just like the fucking like dude, he is just like the guru when it comes to all things technical. Like
Yeah.
when we got together, I was like, yo, so I have these songs, I have these backtracks, and like I don't know how to fucking use them. You know, like I try my best at shit, but I don't know how to do everything. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, and I was like, here, I have these backtracks, like I'm trying to figure it out, but I don't know. And David is just like, got you, bro, and just got shit right. So I really got a really good group around me, and I feel really good about where I'm at and what we're doing.
That's really good.
It's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
It's gonna be cool. Like there was a second where I was thinking about canning the project, or I was thinking about just throwing it away and starting over. But it's just crazy what we went through. You know, we just kept getting asked to play. We got asked to play these 2 really cool shows that we just played last month, and then just really worked out with the new lineup. Everybody really gets along and likes each other. And I honestly feel like it's the healthiest group I've ever been around. Because
That's
you know how, you know how it is out here, you know, just in these like indie music markets, and whether it's just like basically any form of entertainment, if you haven't made it yet and you're coming off the ground, you're constantly surrounded by, I mean, I'm a fucking like low life degenerate myself, you know what I mean? But you know, you're just surrounded by this just like this cesspool of just like
toxicity, yeah.
Just people that, and just like, I don't want to say like low life, but just like,
well, I mean, their energy
like
can bring you down for sure.
Just a lot of, there's a lot of bad energy that goes with that, because because like people are really hungry, you know, and just, I don't know, you'll just meet a lot of like really low life, bottom of the barrel people. Yeah. And you know, it really can bring you down. But I feel like I finally hit a home run with this lineup.
That's good.
I was also thinking about changing the band name, because the band name's an inside joke with my old guitarist who fucking stabbed me in the back.
Oh no.
But everybody, yeah, I know, it is what it is. But everybody in the band loves the name, surprisingly, even though I thought the name was kind of stupid. But we keep getting asked to play cool shows with the name. And everybody and all the new members of the band like the name. Like I thought when I said, I was like, hey, I was thinking about changing the name, that they were all gonna be like, oh yeah, but they all were like, dude, we think the name is like perfect. And I was like, oh, you don't think it sounds like a pop punk band? They're like, no, man, it's just like different. Like it's like, that's the thing. It doesn't, like, it's just different. Yeah. And like I've said in previous interviews, why I've been attached to the name is because I feel like I can do whatever I want with it. Cause like, so like right now we're metal, but I don't know what way I'm going to be in 10 years. You know what I mean? Or even 5 years down the road. Right. Like we're like some bands that just want to sell out immediately and just be some like pop punk out the gate. But I disagree with that tactic. I'm here to punch you in the face and get your attention, and then where my sound goes from there, we'll see. But you know, like right now we're punch you in the face, giant metalcore. But my end goal is to be Tame Impala. Okay. You know, like I'm trying. Like I eventually want to evolve into a whole nother era, but right now I'm here to punch you in the face.
Well, and so going back to the band name part, that's one of the things that grabbed me. Is I had started a Twitter page, and I think you started following me on there, and it said that I was being followed by With Some Friends, and I was like, what the heck is that? So I went and looked it up, and I was like, oh my god, these guys are awesome. So it was because of the band name that, you know, that it grabbed my attention, you know, and I was like, I want to know more about them. Yeah, it's very unique. And you were saying, does it sound like a pop punk band or anything like that? Even if it does, who cares, man? It's your band. You do what you want to with it, you know? You make it. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. Yes. Talk to him, Jared. I feel you. Yes, just do what you want to do. Like, there is no rules to this, bro. There is no rules. Yeah. Like, if it works, it works. And honestly, we played 4 shows, all packed. First show, awesome. Headline to now, packed. Second show, Austin's Coffee. Nobody, bro. So great lineup. I love all the bands on the show. The first we headlined that one too. The first 3 bands, there's no one there, and I felt like shit. I was like, damn, there's nobody at this show. All time to play. Floor full. Abby last month full. This show we just played at the Social. Promoter comes up to me after my set.
tells me to my face, I'm like, hey man, I just want to let you know that is the biggest crowd I have seen for any local band that has played emo night in Orlando. He's like, the energy was just there on a whole nother level. It was not there for the other acts, all due respect to them.
Yeah.
But I'm just out here doing my thing. There's no rules to this shit, and I'm just here to like just have fun with it and like do my thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I totally get it. And, you know, I understand this because it's the same with my show. You know, I've had a lot of people say, oh, well, you have a wrestling podcast. No, I don't. I have my podcast where I can have whatever I want. It's even in the name, you know, you've heard of the book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. You know, and that's where my name comes from. If you give a dad a podcast, well, I have a wrestler on. Well, now I want to have a metal singer on, and then, well, now I've had that. Well, now I want to have an animal chiropractor on here. You know, I want a ring announcer on here. I want a referee. I want a marriage counselor. You know, I want all these different people on here. It doesn't have to be one thing because it's mine and I can do what I want to with it. And it's the same way with your band.
That's all I do with my life. That's all I do with my life. That's all I do with my band. I'm just doing whatever. I literally just do whatever I want, man.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is
like too many bands are out here following rules that just like straight up do not exist.
Yeah. I mean, it's like an unwritten set of rules that you have to do this. You don't have to do that. You know, you do what you want to do, and the people who are truly involved and invested in you, they will follow either way.
Yeah, and something that like really pisses me off that I see a lot these days is like so many people are like so desperate to make it, so they'll just like they're in like 6 bands or they're on TikTok doing the most cringe. Or like I had a friend the other day tell me like, be like, oh, you should. Oh, there's some big band that she knows that needs a singer. So I was like, oh, you should do this. You should try out, or you should join this, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't give a fuck about any of that.
Yeah.
This is not a marketing tactic to me. Like I'm in a band because this is a part of who I am. I'm not in this to get big. I'm not in this for any of the wrong reasons. I am just in this because like I just think it's cool and I like playing shows, stealing the show, and having. I like playing shows. I like stealing the show. I like pretty girls coming up to me after my set, and I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Like I'm not here to like be in 10 bands and like stress myself out and have hair falling out because I'm just like, oh, I gotta make it in music. Because what even is making it in music? All right, you play some. All right, you get your band name up and you play some shows, but you know what? Like the sun comes up at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you might have your run, but like I'm not here overthinking this shit, bro. Like I'm literally just like making music I like and having fun with it.
Right.
And I feel like by doing that, you know, it helps me grow. Yeah. But I'm here to grow the With Some Friends band. I'm not here to leave this and join somebody else's because it'll grow my clout or grow my brand. I'm here starting my business.
Yeah.
And I am here to grow that business. So
I totally agree. And you know, that's something that I've also noticed with the way you do your lyrics and stuff. These lyrics actually mean something to you. They're not just it's not Attila. You know, you're actually putting stuff out there that, you know, means something.
Hey, I like Attila.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I love Attila. I think they're great and they're hilarious. But I notice with your lyrics and stuff, you know, they mean something to you. You're not singing about pizza.
Yeah, oh God. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell Francis to his face. You know, like sometimes you know, I'll be listening to that Attila shit and I'll be like, yeah, there was no thought process in any of these lyrics. But honestly, like I don't give a like if it works, it works. And I'm not thinking Attila works. I'm a huge fan to this day.
Yeah. Do you listen to any of Psycho Stick?
Oh yeah, I remember that band. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have that song, and then they have wasn't there like another meme song of like I don't know a lot of them, but I just know the beer song, and then wasn't there like another one?
Yes, they have one, and it's called NSFW. And
what does that mean?
Not safe for work.
Oh.
And all they do.
I don't think I know that one.
The only thing they do in the song is just swear the entire time. There's no other lyrics in the song. It's just that.
No way.
Yeah, it's actually pretty funny.
That's hilarious.
So.
That's hilarious. That's like some old Blink-182 shit right there.
Yeah, or there's been tons of bands who have done things like that in the past, but you on top of being able to make something meaningful, you have to be able to have fun with what you're doing too, or otherwise it gets you bogged down. You have to enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I really enjoy doing this,
That's good.
And it's like, if you watch any of my live sets, like I'm different on stage. I feel like all these other singers, all these other local vocalists are just like, they're so nervous and they're so scared because like some girl they have a crush on at work is like in the crowd. So they're like reading off the checklist, like, oh, I said the band name, I said this, and I'm blah, blah, blah. And like, bro, like the way I look at it, bro, like when I played the Social 2 weeks ago, I'm not looking at it as like, oh, wow, I got a 30-minute set time, blah, blah. I'm like, yo, downtown Orlando just gave me the mic for 30 minutes. Like, bro, I'm here to make my fucking impact. Like,
yeah,
I gotta leave a mark. Like, no matter where I am, like every show I play, like you're gonna have to remember me.
Yeah.
And no, like I really just like make sure that like I really like leave my all every time I'm on stage.
That's awesome.
Kind of lost my thought process there, but yeah, I was going somewhere with that.
You're good. I've been losing my thought process all night that we've been talking, man. So you're in good company here.
Yeah, man, you seem like a cool guy.
Well, I appreciate that. I really like talking to you, and you seem like a pretty cool guy too. And
appreciate it.
Yeah, it's it was pretty awesome whenever we started kind of just texting back and forth about wrestling and stuff the other night, and I was like, okay,
yeah, I was like, yeah, I saw your
cool.
shit, and I was like, bro, because dude, I don't know what it is, like, but dude, people who are just like into pro wrestling are just like the coolest people, like just straight up, man.
I agree.
Like you're just the coolest people ever. Like, have you seen any of this the A&E shit that's been going on, like the WWE rivals and like the A&E biographies? Have you seen any of that?
Yes, I have watched some of that. I watched the Kurt Angle one.
Yeah, dude, it's. Oh, I've been meaning to watch that one.
That one's good.
But dude, the rivals, they just did one on the Monday Night Wars between Raw and Nitro. Fucking amazing. It's so good. Cause remember, I'm only 25. So I wasn't like, I know about that, but I didn't really know a lot of the specifics. Right. And they really dive in, and like that, like all of them glued me. Like the Mick Foley one was so good, but the Nitro Raw one, I'm just like literally I'm like glued every single second. I just thought it was so interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, whenever the Monday Night Wars were going on, you were probably only like 2 or 3 years old then.
Oh yeah, dude, I was stupid.
97? Is that when you were born?
Stupid young. Yeah, I was born June 23rd, 97. So.
Okay.
I'm 25.
Yeah, so I was in whenever it was really big and Wolfpack was going on and all those things. It was probably around 2nd or 3rd grade is when that got really hot for me.
Kevin Nash is the man, dude. Like he talks a lot in a lot of those things.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Razor Ramon.
Yep.
Razor Ramon. Yeah, it's dope.
All right. Well, before I do get you off of here, I do want to ask you a few more questions regarding your music and maybe talk about, I know you said that you have some new stuff that's coming out, and what does your writing process kind of look like whenever you are getting to it?
Well, the writing process with this new lineup is definitely a lot different than the old lineup. Mm-hmm. But what we're doing with this new lineup is we're really, all 4 of us, just really putting our heads together on this. And we're all just coming together with new ideas. We know what our sound want it to be, and we've picked exactly where we want to go, and we're all just bringing our ideas together to fulfill like that vision. Like I said earlier, I grew up on my OG metalcore skater. Remember Devil Wears Prada? That was my right. But I've definitely grown into more of a I feel like that's where the genre has really gone in a broader sense too, into more of a technical sound. And we're definitely going to keep the whole ambient technical metalcore vibe. But my one regret from the Thank You I Love You EP is that I did not sing enough. I feel like there's a lot of screaming and there's very minimal singing parts. But I listen back and like honestly, whenever I listen back to my album, I'm always skipping to the parts where I'm singing because I'm really proud of all of them. And I just wish I would have done that more. And that's not even my best, you know what I mean? So I would say on this next stuff, still expect, those hard-hitting breakdowns. They're going to be even harder because we actually, have a lineup that like knows how to do that now. Mm-hmm. And I want you, to the fans listening, I would say our new music, expect even harder hitting breakdowns, but I want you to expect these even bigger and broader choruses, because I know I have that voice to bring that, and I'm gonna bring it.
Awesome, man! Hearing you talk about it, I can't wait to hear the new stuff that's gonna come out.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
I come from a long line of singers too. Like my grandmother, Benny Qualmann, she was top of her class at Juilliard. My sister is currently in a play. She got a degree in musical theater from University of Hartford. She just was singing on Off Broadway in Times Square, New York.
Oh,
she
wow.
just got signed for this. Yeah, and then she just got signed for this big 8-month tour. She's about to tour the country, a part of a musical with name I forgot. A couple months ago, she also just sang with Jimmy Buffett. She's incredible, my sister Emily. Like, I'm a great singer, but I will never be half as good as my sister. My sister really is just something else.
So you do come from a musical family. That's awesome. I do myself too. And usually when that happens, you play different instruments and stuff. Do you play multiple instruments?
Yeah, I do. Like I said, I grew up playing drums. Mm-hmm. Like the first instrument I ever played was drums because there was this kid in my 5th grade class, and he thought he was so cool, which he was, and he got like all the girls, and he was a drummer. And I was like, yo, like I want to get all the girls, like I want to be cool. So I started playing drums. And isn't it crazy how like so much of like what motivates men is just
girls?
What is like approval from women?
Yeah.
Isn't that so crazy? It's
it
like
is
you ever
crazy.
just like stop and think about that? I don't know, like.
Yeah.
like at 25, I look back and I was like, damn, like that's what motivated me as a 10-year-old. Like, I don't know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I started playing drums, and then I took a year of piano, and I know a little guitar, but I suck. But yeah. And I was in band. Like I was in band in middle school, and then I was in band my freshman year of high school. But I was a punk. I skipped class all the time, and like I didn't go to band camp, and like, but so I didn't really do it in high school. But I definitely would say I'm very musically inclined. So.
What did you play in band?
I was percussion.
Oh, percussion. Okay.
Like when I was in middle school, I took band really seriously, and I was in top band in middle school. And like I went to Millennium Middle School in Sanford, and even though I grew up in Altamont, I was in the magnet program. It was weird, but I was actually good enough to where I was actually playing on snare line at Seminole High School as an 8th grader for some of their football games.
That's impressive.
Yeah, so like I was, I low-key like got the chops a little bit, and that summer, so I went to Millennium Middle School in 8th grade, but then for high school, I went to Lake Brantley, which is right down the road from where my house was. And when I got to high school, I just like, I just like discovered Nirvana, and I thought I was like grunge, and I was like, bro, Kurt Cobain would go to band camp, and like, and like I was just like a little punk, and like, I just like wasn't about bands, so I just like I dropped bands, and I took all the like in high school I took all the easiest classes I possibly could take. I literally did the bare minimum, and then I wouldn't even go to class sometimes. I literally just did what I had to do to like get through and graduate, but I literally could not have invested myself less when I was in high school. Like I was the kind of kid where 2:20 school day's over, I'm on my longboard skating home as fast as I can because I just did not want to be at school. I don't know.
Yeah, I get that. I had that happen to me whenever I was in school too. You kind of get that even when you're not they call it senioritis, but I got it at a much younger age than whenever I was a senior in high school. I think I started probably my sophomore year is whenever I started getting senioritis.
Yeah, no, I had senioritis the entire time I was in high school. So. had senioritis as a freshman, man.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I have 2 kids now myself, and they're not even in high school yet. They're both in middle school, and they're already getting senioritis.
Okay. Oh, wait, how old are they? Like 11 and 12, or?
They will be 11 and 12 this year. Yeah. I have.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah, I got a daughter that will be 12 coming up, and my son will be turning 11 at the end of the year.
That's so awesome, man.
Yeah,
as I get older, I just think like I don't know, just really respect parents.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I would just love to have like a daughter of my own one day.
Well, I mean, that can always still happen, man.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so you said that you have a whole new lineup of people in the group. Now, do they help you when it comes to the writing the music, or is this all your baby when it comes to that, and then you kind of just like, here's where the way we're gonna go?
Oh
with
no,
it?
yeah.
Or is it,
Well, like I said, I'm not the best guitarist.
Mhm.
I think I'm pretty good at drums.
Yeah.
But my drummer's a lot better than me. I basically just set the vision, and then my band brings that sound, and then obviously I write all the lyrics.
Okay.
But I basically just set like a template and I set the vision. But definitely my band brings that sound to life for sure.
That's awesome. It's nice to collaborate with people like that. And going back to what you said earlier about it being a more healthy environment, when you have that healthy environment, you are able to make a more harmonious song, I would believe, and you're able to come up with more music that actually you can tell that there's heart behind it, whenever there's harmony in the band.
Yeah, like there's one thing that I took for granted, or that I wasn't thinking about when I was younger, that I am constantly thinking about now, is just maintaining a healthy dynamic in my band, in my life, and my relationships.
Yep.
That is just so much more important to me than what can you do for me, which is, I feel like, a trap that a lot of this generation and even my younger self fell into. I was thinking, if I hang out with this person, then it'll lead me to meet these people, and then I can get this out of this relationship, and that can lead to a lot of unhealthy dynamics. And I just realized, I just stopped wanting to get I just stopped like trying to get things out of people, and I just realized that I really don't need anything from anyone, if that makes sense. And I feel like the more you center your life around helping other people and helping yourself, I feel like a lot of that stuff just gravitates towards you anyway. So a lot of this trap that a lot of these kids and a lot of people fall into these days, of trying to use people for their resources or their connections, sometimes that can be a little counterintuitive,
Yeah.
And just another point I'll make is that there's nothing that breaks up bands more than these little shots you'll take at each other, or like saying something under your breath at practice. Like, those little things build resentment, and those break up your favorite bands. Like when you're like, all these bands that like get big and then break up mysteriously, and people be like, oh, why'd they break up? I promise you, from like I toured Warped Tour, I've been backstage, I've spent so much time like in the music business. There's nothing. The main thing that kills bands is that they just can't get along.
Right.
Like they got into a fight and they broke up. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Like, because the little snide comments built up, and that's funny. And that doesn't even just affect just bands, just people in general, just any group. Whether it's work, sports teams. Like, that's just what really kills everything. And I just feel, and like, I truly, like, when I've been practicing with these guys for the past couple months, like, there's no ego battle, or maybe it's because the dynamic is just healthy between us.
Right.
But we're just all like in it for the common good. Everybody wants to be here. Everybody is impressed by each other. And I just really don't, maybe it's new, but I know these guys. you know? Like, I've known these guys, and
Yeah.
I don't see it going in another direction, you know? And I just feel like with my old bands, there was just too much of an ego battle, you know,
Yeah.
having to share the spotlight. But I feel like we're all in it for the right reasons, and I really feel better than I ever have about where Wisdom Friends is at right now.
That's good.
I'm really proud of where I took this name and the position I put it in now. Like, I truly feel like I've come a long way from being stuck in my room by myself in COVID and just looking at all of our art and having nobody know who we are, to selling out all 4 shows we played and headlining the first one.
That's awesome.
So
yeah,
we've done some cool shit.
So if people want to follow you guys online, how can they do that?
Instagram, Twitter, like, bro, like, that's where it's at these days, bro. Like, I'm not on Facebook, bro. Like, I will check Facebook once, like, a week, bro. Like, once every, like, couple days. But, like, yo, I'm on Instagram and Twitter every day. You know what I mean? Like, Twitter and Instagram. I gotta get my TikTok going. I'm not gonna lie, because this TikTok's crazy.
It is.
Even though it's super cringe, like, these labels are having bidding wars over these bands that are blowing up on TikTok, and they're offering these kids, like, contracts and offers that they've just never that are so good that they've never offered anyone because of these fake TikTok numbers.
Yeah.
You know, because, like, this TikTok, like, I feel like it's so deceiving because a lot of it is just algorithm.
Right.
You know, and a lot of it's like, I was like, all right, we put this in front of people's faces, and so now this video has 300,000 likes, and labels see that and, like, oh my god, blah blah, put them in a show, no one's in there. You know, and I feel like it's all kind of smoke and mirrors, but I don't know. I feel like you like, here's the thing, because I'm pulling numbers with no TikTok, so you give me that TikTok too. If I can just prove to a label, like, yo, I can do this, blah blah blah, then, like, I feel like, you know, we can really do something, because, like, I'm a guy who's, like, really the real deal, and I know how to do this.
Yeah.
So if we can get TikTok going, then, like, I think shit could be really big.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to do that without being cringe.
Well,
you know, like, I want to be respected at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, the thing is you have to find a way to make it you. You know, don't change yourself and your product to fit that. The thing is the people who want to see it will find it. And that is one thing I've noticed with, like, the algorithms. You know, at first I was getting anything and everything when it came to videos on TikTok, and now it's kind of narrowed it down. I get a lot of Rottweiler videos on there, and Pitbull videos, and music on mine. Most of mine is music.
My algorithm knows me pretty well too now.
Yeah. So and I've had 3 people on here that have made it pretty big on TikTok. I had one guy, D-Cure. He's a rapper. I think he's out of Colorado, and he's made it really big. He actually just got a record in the mail from the Billboard charts.
No way.
Yeah. And
wait, what's his name?
D-Cure.
D-Cure?
He also does these things where, like, his wife will ask him, oh, can you go to the store and get me a frozen pizza? And so then he came back with a Domino's pizza with Frozen characters on it. You know, and he does, like, little funny, almost dad jokes on there. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah, he has some pretty funny stuff on there. But I had him on the podcast. I've also had it's actually a guy I went to high school with, and he's made it big. He is an animal and human chiropractor, and I've actually had him on here twice now, because he just made a trip to Africa and was training some of the people over there how to do chiropractics on some of these larger animals, and he got to actually adjust a giraffe and, you know, different things like that. So when people find you that are looking for that certain kind of thing on there, then, you know, that's when you flourish. You know, it's just about finding that right fan base, and if you're putting your stuff out there, they will find you.
Oh God. I mean, I've had. Well, I've posted a little bit on TikTok, and I've actually had a few videos do well.
Yeah.
But they just have nothing to do with my music.
Get you.
I posted this. Like it was Tom Brady's birthday the other day. I'm a diehard Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan.
All
and
right.
I posted a video of my reaction when we won the Super Bowl, and that got like 11K. And then so this is actually a crazy story. My dog, who I had this dog when I was 16. She went missing. She had been missing for the past 8 years. And we just found her about a couple months ago, and now she's in my possession. She's my dog. When we lost her, she was a family dog.
Yeah.
But now I took possession of her.
That's awesome.
And I made a little yeah, I know, it's crazy. And I made a little TikTok about that, and that did pretty well.
Yeah.
But
Dog videos always do well on TikTok.
Yeah. I should have slipped in there. Also, by the way, I'm in a screamo band.
Yeah, there you go. Well, and it's, you just got to find, like I said, those right people. I've kind of used it a little bit. It's kind of back and forth with me. Most of my stuff is I advertise on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Those are my big 3 places that I advertise at for what I do here.
Yeah, I mean, Facebook's cool.
Yeah.
But like, it's just not what I'm checking every day. You know?
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm a little older. I'm 34, so I was in at the ground level when Facebook first started.
It's the 30 and up club. No offense.
Yeah. No, it is. You're correct. It is. But it's been really good for like getting in contact with a lot of the wrestling community for me. That's the big one for me there. So yeah.
Well, when I start pursuing my career as a pro wrestler, I'm gonna start getting big on Facebook.
There you go.
Because that's another endeavor of mine. Like, because that's another thing. It's like what I was saying earlier about, why I don't want to just like jump ship and like join something else and like do that. It's because I'm not like I like my band is just like, all right, cool. I'm like, this is dope. I have a band. I have a sick ass band that I can book to play really cool shows. But I'm also trying to do, other shit. I'm trying to pursue a career in sports media. I interned for Overtime for the past 4 years, and now I work at ESPN, with sports at Disney. And from there, I'm trying to do more. Right. I inevitably want to be a filmmaker. I want to be a pro wrestler. I want to, like you said, where it's like, it's your band, do whatever you want. It's your life, do whatever you want. I'm living that. Like, I'm just doing whatever the fuck I want to do. Like, I want to be. Everybody's telling me, oh, like, you put yourself in a box with a screamo band. I've sold out all 4 of my shows with my screamo band.
Yep.
I've flown around the country filming basketball. I've met Dwayne Wade multiple times.
Yeah.
I met Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I met LaMelo Ball. I met Floyd Mayweather doing that. And I've done a lot of cool shit in a lot of different areas, and now just something that I haven't done for some reason is really dive into the world of pro wrestling. And I feel like I could fill a lane in that world too, to be quite honest with you.
Is there anything that you would like to say to maybe your fans or just the people that are listening on here?
I just want to thank everybody who's listened to this podcast. Thank you for giving us a second. Sorry we talked about wrestling too much. I just want to say that I know that with some friends has been through a lot in the past couple of months. We just know moving forward that we're not going anywhere, and we're going to be pushing harder than ever. So I'm going to tell you guys to expect new music, and be on the lookout for this big show that we're about to announce soon.
Awesome. Everybody go out, listen to this band. They have amazing music. I am giving them my stamp of approval. I love their stuff, and you need to go listen to it. If you are a metal fan, you will love it.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody just go and listen.
Jared.
Yeah. And, man, it's been good talking to you. I know we had a few technical difficulties tonight between the audio getting garbled and, neighbors that decided to try to mow and things like that. But you know what? We got through this, and I actually had a great time talking to you.
Expect new hard-hitting music with some friends. and expect to see me in a pro wrestling ring soon. I'll say that.
Awesome. I love it. All right, man. Well, I look forward to talking to you again in the future when I see you made it big. You're going to have to come back on the show and give me an update.
Yeah, man. Well, even if that's not even the point, man. Like I said, I don't even care. I'm just out here because I love it.
Right. No, I totally understand that. All right. Well, you have a great night, man.
Absolutely, Jared. It's a pleasure talking to you, man.
Same
Call me
to you.
anytime.
All right. Bye.
All right, I'll see you. Bye.
This is Jack and Joe from Derazzled, the podcast that takes award-winning worst films
and fixes them.
It's not enough to just point out when a movie is bad.
Which we do.
Or to discover why the movie is so bad.
Which we do.
We go ahead and fix the whole damned thing.
Yes, we do.
Bad movies, good writing, a special brand of stupid.
That's Derazzled.
Find Derazzled at your favorite podcast spot.
We're sure to razzle-dazzle you.
Oh, yeah. My name is Cat's Pajamas, aka Cat's PJs. I'm the host of a show called Creative Podcasts, where we talk all things music, musicians, musicianship, music, influences, music backstories, the origins, where they come from, what do they do, what are they doing now. So if you're into music, if you listen to music, come on over to Creative Podcasts, where all the cool cats are hanging, baby. We'll talk about your favorite artists, your favorite songs, conspiracies to funny things, this, that, finger snaps, hand claps, all genres of music. Eclectic, electric, and nothing like you'd expected. So come on over to Creative Podcasts and tune in, baby. I'll see you there.
All right, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed that episode with Benny Qualmann. He was a lot of fun to talk to. He had some pretty cool things. I would like to see him maybe try out the wrestling ring here in the future if that turns out to be something that he wants to do. I also look forward to seeing some new music from With Some Friends. They actually have some pretty cool stuff, and you guys really do need to go and check it out. So the next couple of weeks I have some pretty cool people coming on. The next week I'm very excited about is Jason Jones. He is the promoter and owner of Mid-States Wrestling, and I can't wait to talk to him. He is the hardest working man in the business. It has been quite the task to try to make sure that I can get him on here because he is a very busy guy, and I can't wait to talk with him. The week following that I have Joe Helms. Big Joe Helms, the silverback out of Springfield, who's a wrestler that I got to meet a few months ago, and he's a pretty cool guy. I think he's going to have a lot of fun stuff to talk about on here. Then the week after that, I have Chris Allred, who is the owner and promoter for Crown Championship Wrestling. But we're not actually going to be talking about wrestling when he comes on the show. We are going to be talking about the NCAA and the future of what that should look like. So if you guys want to tune in and listen to some of these episodes, I think you would really enjoy it. I've got some different topics coming up. Next month, I should be having a lot more broader range of topics coming up. I've got a marriage counselor coming on next month. I've got a singer coming on next month, I do believe. So just stay tuned and be ready to hear some new great content. If you guys just came to hear the Benny Qualmann episode, I hope that you stick around. I hope that you enjoyed what you heard. If you're listening to this right now, go like it, go share it, rate it, review it. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. So if you guys do have any comments or anything that you want to send my way, you can do so by sending it to my email address, and that's giveadatapodcast@gmail.com. If you guys want to keep up with what's going on with the show, you can always follow me on Facebook, and that's at IYGADAP. It's the acronym for If You Give a Data Podcast, or as I like to say, IGADAP. Also, you can follow me on Instagram, and that's at Give a Data Podcast. Also, I have a Twitter page that I update regularly for the show, and that's at DadPodcast11. So, yeah. send me a line on there. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't. If you have questions for any of these upcoming guests, I would love to hear from you. So I am going to bring this episode to a close. I love doing this. I thank you guys for all the support that you've been giving me, all the feedback that I get. It's great, and I can't wait to bring more and more great guests on here for you guys. So I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time. Bye. If you enjoyed our show, come back next week. Come on, guys. You know you want to come back. Might get some laughs.
That's why they call it If You Give a Dad a Podcast.
Exactly.
It's definitely a fitting name.